welcome back, everybody, to Crush Improv Plays Dungeons & Dragons, back after a long hiatus. Look at that. Has it been months? Has it been years? Who knows? But here we are again, joined by the whole crew. Al, Christine, Dan, Jordan, and Brooke. And when last we left, what happened? I don't rightly recall exactly what... No, I don't remember what happened. But the real question is, do the Crush Improv people remember what happened? So, for bonus point of inspiration, there you go. Somebody recap a salient piece of information from our last session.
I'll do it. 'Tis I. Last we knew, Tergar, as I think a fish, was exploring the Sahaugian lair that I think he was also invisible, and he found creatures being tortured and nasty things happening. So we went back to the council in Orlane.
Saltmarsh?
Saltmarsh?
Yeah, Orlane's a couple of years ago.
Wine
Yeah.
country.
Well, in Saltmarsh. Just lost my inspiration. To share what we found out and to kind of figure out the next steps to help our friends, the lizard people.
Excellent recap, Christine. Now, for another piece of inspiration, what was the climactic, amazing thing that happened at the end of that session?
We had attached a wire to the bell
Don't
tower.
ask Dan. Dan's not
No.
going to say the real
And
thing.
Marty had to go 78 kilometers an hour.
Glonda milked Tergar.
No, neither of those things, although the last thing did apparently maybe happen. But that wasn't the thing that I was thinking of.
All I have written is Sarif proposed they might be there to finish them off, but I don't even know what that context is. Who might be there, where to finish whom off? It's so vague.
Well, remember, we had some milking allegations there.
Yeah.
I don't remember I don't know.
Well, context, it was at the city council meeting, or the town council meeting. It's technically a town. And Anders Solmore stood up and made a brazen offer.
I have no memory of this.
He suggested that what he was going to do was go out to the...
Let me guess. He was suggesting that the town ban dancing.
No.
Good try, Dan.
Good try. Negative inspiration for Dan. All your rolls will be at disadvantage tonight. Terrible consequence. No, he suggested that somebody needed to go out there and talk to the Sahaugen. They needed to go out there and face them head on and know what their intentions would be. So he is going to go out on a mission of diplomacy.
Wow.
And he asks that the party might accompany him to protect him in that mission, and that hopefully they could assess once and for all what their intentions would be, and if they are benign, then they can go on in peace and harmony, and if not, then they can make preparations appropriately. And there was a smattering of applause at this brazen offer, and I believe you agreed to help him. I don't know. If you decide that maybe on second thought you don't want to, then now would be the time to let both him and I know.
Maybe we should go find Grazit. Maybe get a boat together and go find
Inspiration for Andrew.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh,
Nope.
shit.
All my rolls are advantage. It's going to be a tough night for you folks.
Not all of them.
So yeah, that's where we left off. And I'm going to propose that a day passes in preparation, that you have described what the Sahaugen abode looks like, and that a lot of it's underwater. So some potions of water breathing are collected for you, for Anders, for folks that are going to go down there, and as well there's a potion you can use that will make it so that you are not uncomfortable in the sub-0 degree water that is down there. So you can essentially not thrive, but survive underwater, should that come to pass.
Can wizards cast spells underwater?
If they have the potion of water breathing going, they can.
Okay.
Otherwise, if they don't, then they're drowning. So,
right. I mean, just because you can breathe water doesn't necessarily mean you can speak. So, but it does mean you can speak.
It does. Yeah.
Excellent news.
At least the rules don't specify you can't, so I'm going to say you can.
I approve.
Excellent. And with that, the final bit of business that is conducted is a go-between is discovered. And this is the... what is the name of that thing? Is it the Keolanth? These are the hobgoblins of the sea, whose name I can't remember immediately. And they're kind of mercenary in their allegiances. They won't join Saltmarsh in anything that would involve a defense of themselves or the city. But they, for a certain amount of coin, will broker an introduction. They basically will allow that they can send a message to the Sahagin that a party from Saltmarsh is going to come, so that you won't be immediately set upon when you arrive. Now, they can go and they can deliver the message, and they can even bring back a response should one be forthcoming, but that's all you know from now.
Well, I think that's a great idea.
Otherwise, you're going to, invade to send a diplomatic party? I don't think that's cool.
It would be good to get some type of response. If they're like, yes, come, or like, GTFO, then we have a better stance.
Do not come. That would be bad. No, so that takes a day to arrange and get all the preparations and such. Is there anything that you want to do while you're in town?
How much money do we have? Oh, not that much. Just thinking if there's any spells that I could buy and bump up as a possibility.
I have a lot of money, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's possible you guys have some stuff.
You do keep draining our reserves whenever possible, but
that's how it works.
I got rid of my hempen rope. I don't know how I lost it, but I probably should have rope, so I'll buy some rope.
I think we got robbed. We all lost a bunch of stuff.
Oh, is that what it was?
You got robbed. That is correct.
Okay, I see here.
Wasn't there a fire at some point too?
Hempen rope.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, my memory is spotty on a fire, but I think the robbery would explain why you might not have some stuff. And the name of the race that is brokering the deal is the Coalinth, and you don't know how much money traded hands to make that work. So, Dan, if you want to buy some more rope, that is totally doable.
I'm buying 50 feet of silken rope.
Okay.
At 10 gold pieces.
And Brooke, did you want Nimmeralian to try and track down any new spells?
That might be nice. I'm just thinking of spells that would be useful for battling multiple underwater beings. Like a very specific possibility that wouldn't harm other people, but I'd be able to, ensnare, entrap. Because I know a lot of my spells are like fire or thunder, and that's not going to work well underwater.
Perhaps not at all.
Perhaps not at all. Or murder everyone because it's electricity in a body of water. So,
do you want a fishing net?
I mean, if I could move one around with my mind.
They won't be able to get out of that shit.
They wouldn't be able to get out. They're fish.
They're fish.
True.
We should just fish.
Why don't we just...
At the end of the day, guys, what are we worried about? They're just fish.
They're just fish.
Murderous fish people.
Oh,
bloodthirsty, murderous fish people.
Forgot about that part.
Yeah.
It's been a few months. I just thought they were fish.
I do have Phantasmal Killer, but that's only good for one person. And the Black Tentacle is also somewhat... Yeah, Black Tentacle could be good. But I think Nim will definitely just want to be preparing herself for what Terragar had told her might exist. So if that means potentially going to buy a spell or two that might be supportive, then so be it.
Just trying to think what I don't know what spells you got right now. But,
I'll maybe come back to me once I've gone through what I have, and maybe I can even do some Googling in the meantime to be like, I think Nim wants this spell. But that can be a side quest rather than a main goal.
Okay. What about Glonda or Jajandron or Gnorman? Do they want to do anything before setting off on this return to the Sahuagin lair?
I'd like to spend some money. And
You got money burning a hole in your pocket.
Exactly. Is there a weapons store where I can look at some weapons?
Well, indeed. The one that you would think of would be the quartermaster of
Here, I'll share it with
Xandros, the
you.
tiefling.
I'll put it in the
Yeah.
chat here, Jordan. I just found it, so just give me a sec. There.
Do they sell milkshakes?
They do.
Something like that. Probably the alcoholic version thereof.
Even
So
better.
what do we have at this weapons store? I didn't see anything that went to the chat. I posted a joke in there. I don't see it.
But you can't. If you click on that document, nothing happens.
Oh, the document.
Oh, the document.
In the chat, I put a Google Doc.
There's a chat in the document?
Wait, a document chat?
Wait, the chat and the document?
Wait, where is the chat on Zoom
A
right
chap.
This is getting very
There's a
iterative.
chap I met while documenting my journey watching all 3 Back to the Future films.
These improvers are going to drive you nuts.
And his name was the name of the mayor from the town in Footloose, where they
Is there a
banned
chat
dancing.
in North Star?
No, he is talking about Zoom. And if you don't see it, it's under the More button. Where that's
No,
where
he
you
must
see
not
it.
I've
have sent
opened
that
the
to
chat and
everyone
he didn't
because
put
I
anything.
said,
Oh,
who
I
is
sent it
this
to. Oh, for some reason
He
it's
sent it to
direct to Andrew.
Exactly.
Oh,
Nobody
maybe
else.
I'll only go to Andrew.
Did you send me the secret document that I've never been able to see?
Don't
No.
look at it.
Don't look at it!
No, that's just D&D equipment.
There,
Oh, okay,
now,
never mind.
now
You
it's
can look
there.
at it.
Sorry,
You
that's
can
why
look at it.
everyone was
Doesn't matter.
confused.
You're so.
Oh, this
not
is
allowed to
actually a
look at
helpful
that.
thing that Dan did.
Yes.
Surprise!
He's been known.
That's the irony.
There-
It actually happened this time.
You know,
Who'd
why
have
haven't
thought?
we ever bought a war horse? When you think about it.
Who out of us can ride a horse? Can I? I'm
Jordan.
little. Little.
You could
know.
probably ride
we
like a
could get
pony.
a mule
Think you
or
could be a stirrup.
donkey.
Well, think about it. Jockeys are littler.
You know, war
Probably
horses
about the
would have
same
been useful
stature.
right up until the nautical adventure.
Right. Forgot about the water thing. What about
Yeah.
a seahorse?
True. Unfortunately, you can't really buy those in Saltmarsh.
I'm little. Could probably fit. We could get a
Well, I'm going to
string
buy
of
some
mistletoe and kiss.
fine clothing. I'm going to dress up.
Ooh, very smart. Dressed to impress, as it were.
Yeah.
All right. Well, some fine clothing. Looks like it'll set you back a whopping 15 gold pieces.
Yeah. Sold.
Do you even have any money? I forget. There's somebody carrying it for you.
No, I've got some of it, I think. Or yeah. Yeah, I have a note that Nim holds all but 20 of each of my coins. So yeah, I've got
What?
it's in that bag. It's in the magic bag.
All I have in my listing is Norman's Explorer Pack.
No, you don't need rope.
I don't have any
Apparently-
money.
Apparently, there's been a breakdown in communication, or possibly Nim has spent all of
Definitely
Norman's
don't.
money.
I mean, I
Okay,
got 38 gold. What's it?
How much? What's the conversion between silver and gold?
10 to 1.
We should
Anyway,
write that
I'm
down somewhere.
splashing out on some new duds.
Can you
would-
describe what the new duds will look like?
It's a burgundy sport coat with gold trim, large lapels, a frilly shirt underneath, and a hat that is clearly made for somebody much larger than a gnome. But I like the look of the hat, so I'm wearing this oversized hat anyway.
Nice. So it frequently falls down in front of your eyes.
Yeah, wide brim.
Okay. Well, I think
it's quite stylish.
that getup is easily going to cost you 30 gold pieces, and
What?
plus the rush fee to get it done the same day.
You should have never told him what it was.
Okay, well, if I leave the hat, I just take the jacket with the lapels.
But sir, the hat really makes it. You're killing me by not taking the hat. I suppose,
Okay,
given that
I'm
you're a
gonna take the
hero
hat,
of...
but I'm also going to buy a belt to like cinch the hat on. because it's a little too big and it'll fall off.
But you know what? Because you're one of the heroes of Saltmarsh, I am happy to give you this as long as you just tell everybody where you bought it. At Cordelius's haberdashery.
At Honest Odelius's haberdashery. Got it.
Yeah, perfect. They're drunk. They'll know.
All right, sold. I'll take the hat. Our viewers want me to take the hat, so I'm taking the hat.
Perfect. Does Glondo want to buy anything?
I don't know. I want something that'll
That you'll cherish?
help. I cherish you guys.
You should get the
Awesome.
hourglass.
I already
Whoa.
got one.
But I already got one.
Leave me alone. I'm just trying to think of something that would help the underwater fight. I don't think any of these things will help. Plus I
So
get a
things that are good
spyglass,
under
and I put it in the sun, and it
things that are good underwater are things like spears or tridents or things that poke. A crossbow actually would work quite well. Things like
I have one of those already.
you do big hammers and things that swing are going to do less well.
Okay.
And I want to see what our viewers have to say too. It's Matt that's watching us and giving all sorts of things. It's great.
There's a bucket. You could buy the bucket and like bail the
Empty
water
the
out.
water. Should I get an abacus in case I got to do quick math?
Yes.
Abacus is totally useful.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So, all right. Do we have any weapon decisions from Jordan?
Yes.
What are
I'd
you
like
going
to
to buy?
buy a lance.
Awesome. That's in keeping. Yeah, that'll set you back. That's easily found. In fact, you don't even have to buy one. The town arsenal can supply you with a lance.
Okay, then can I buy... Should I buy a crossbow?
If you want.
I can only buy a heavy one. Is that an issue for me?
No, a fighter is proficient with a heavy crossbow.
I'm strong enough to carry it? So-
You are indeed strong
Thanks,
enough to
Leverage.
carry one.
Okay, I'm gonna make a big purchase and get a Kuwait. Does any of us already have a crossbow? Who already has a crossbow?
I do.
Just okay. Yeah, I'll get a crossbow.
Okay.
Is Nimmerilian buying anything? I feel like I'm
She's
should
gonna buy
buy
some
some heavy
tabs.
chains.
I didn't realize there were tabs at the bottom. I was only in equipment. I'm gonna come back to me.
Oh yeah, there. You're right.
packs and kits. I don't
I
know
was
if I've
like,
ever
where
seen
did you
this.
see Lance?
What's in all these
Crossbow?
packs?
What?
Oh, they sell
Wait, so a
javelins.
poisoner's kit. Oh my
What's in this?
heavens!
What are these kits?
Goodness me.
They're basically like combo packs.
This whole D&D for 2 hours is a
Yeah.
shopping trip.
It's going to be a shopping spree.
Andrew,
Yes, Jordan.
what will my attack bonus be with these new weapons?
They would not be changed. The attack
So-
bonus would still be your...
Plus 6?
well, it depends.
Oh,
Yeah, what is your attack? 6. How does that make sense? Because your proficiency is 3. Oh, yeah, and you're using... For strength-based weapons, it'll be 6. For your crossbow, that'll be a plus 3, because you don't have a
+3.
dexterity bonus.
okay. I'm gonna get rid of this greatsword and just put crossbow here.
Yeah, I'm just seeing you're going to have a hard time with that.
That's plus 3.
yeah.
The
You know what?
damage
I'm
is
going to help you there.
1d10.
See what I
Oh.
did there? I gave you some
Yeah.
more spaces.
Well,
You know,
Oh,
do
yeah,
you do
it's-
you. It's all good.
no, that's better.
All right.
Jordan, did you get a lance or did you get the crossbow?
I got a lance for free.
What?
Is it a janky one or does it actually work?
No, it's a sweet lance. It
Oh,
goes
good.
really well with the warhorse, but they're like, you know what? I don't think where you're going, a warhorse is really going to help you.
No. I'm gonna give my
Besides,
lance.
Terragar can turn into a warhorse if we need
It's
one.
true. So true.
That is true.
Can I?
I see when I googled things, Rolotham's psychic lance. could be a good one, or Sickening Radiance are both decent underwater spells, says the internet.
How do you spell that first one?
I can put it in the chat.
It sounds like one of them fancy expansion spells.
It's from Fizban's Treasury of Dragons.
Yeah, there you go. See, I don't know what that
And
is.
Sickening Radiance is from Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
Well, that is allowed, I think, because we've had stuff in that. Ooh, 4th level. That'll be expensive.
Don't forget, I have the level 1 spell of Distort Value, which I could then try to apply at a higher level.
Well, you, I believe, are an honorary member of the Temple of Bakab, which is essentially the Wizards Guild in town.
Yeah.
So, if you want to go and ask them if they maybe have a scroll of this that you could then try and add
Which
to your
reminds
spell.
me, can I do my...
Your portents? Yeah, absolutely, you should.
Andrew,
Yes, Dan.
the spell Tidal Wave,
Good, baby. 15 and 3.
have that. I was wondering what level it is. I can't see. 3rd level.
Yeah.
That something I can use?
If you
Purchase,
want
I
to,
guess?
if you want to, is that yeah, it's a druid spell. So yeah, you could totally choose to prepare that spell.
That'd be a cool one to have. Okay, cool. I'll add that to my list.
Okay.
How do I do that without? Because you've got so much formatting in there. I want to
Eh,
screw
you
the
know what?
formatting.
Screw the formatting. We'll mess with it later.
So I'll just add a column underneath, or a row underneath, sorry.
Is that a row?
I think I just did it.
You're amazing, man.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So I think if so, first of all, I think that's going to be 200 gold pieces. Well, it would be a discount on that, so 180 gold pieces for that spell of
Fucking Christ. Pardon
Sickening
my language, YouTube. And let's see how powerful. Can I just charm them? Can I just fucking go evil and just charm the shit out of them and make them give it to me?
Well, you are trying to charm magic users, so they may have a significantly decent resistance to it. But you can always try. I'm not going to say you can't try.
Yeah, no, you make a very valid argument.
I mean, you do have
No, if you don't
portent,
want to if you don't want me to be able to buy it, then I won't buy it. That's fine. I won't.
No,
I will make do
I'm
with
not.
what I have.
I'm just the rules of commerce here. I'm not saying you can't buy it. You can't
I
scrape together
have
180 gold
30
pieces.
gold.
Your friends don't have money for you.
That's
I
not
spent
worth
all
it.
my gold pieces on that lance.
That lance was so worth it. I would never ask you to give up your lance. I would never ask, Gnorman to give up his beautiful outfit. So
I hear Glant is made of money.
Nah, Nemi would never. Like, that's too much. That's far too much.
How much
She will
money
make
do
do with
you
what she
need?
has. Over 100 gold. So we're not doing it.
I thought you came from wealth.
I did, but I keep getting stolen from. So
Maybe we shouldn't be trusting all of our possessions in her little bag.
agreed. Nim agrees. Okay, won't get it. That's fine. I don't, have
Okay.
anything, I don't have anything to offer them unless
How
they
much
really
do you
want
have?
cut quartz or 2 teeth from the 1,000 tooth.
How
I
much
could
do you
also, I
have,
suppose I could
Nim?
exchange it for my Wand of Wonder, which really makes Nim very nervous because it's so chaotic and she is not a chaotic spellcaster. She doesn't like the idea of randomness.
Nim, how much money
is
do
a
you
Wand of
have?
Wonder worth?
Yeah, how much money do you?
I only have 38 gold and then 179 silver. So I guess that's another 17 gold. 18.
How much? Well, actually, the platinum bullion is fun, but it doesn't translate well into financial.
What are platinum pieces? How much?
Those
gold
are
is that
worth 10 gold pieces.
Okay, I'll give you 10 platinum pieces.
What? How do you have 10 platinum
I'm
pieces?
rich!
How do you have 10 platinum pieces?
Don't ask questions when you need a favor. Just remember.
That blows me away that you have that much money. That's hilarious. All right. I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it.
But
And
every time you use this
Oh
spell,
no! Here
Oh
we
yeah.
go.
Let's hear it.
you have to sing.
Oh,
For Glonda, my baby girl Glonda.
I counter with I have to sing an improvised praise for Glonda each time.
I think I like that more.
Okay.
How much? Do you need more money?
No, I'm gonna
Oh
be literally.
no, I get the praise. Stop. He wants to jump on this trend.
You guys haven't even heard Nim's singing voice. It's trash. It's not good. She cannot carry a tune.
All right.
Joy.
Nim has to make an intelligence arcana check with a difficulty of 14. Which, of course, you may have a
Why the
port
heck
for.
am I doing that? But okay,
This is to
fine.
turn this, to add the scroll of Sickening
wasting my
Radiance
money?
to
Oh,
your
this is. Hang on.
spellbook.
What is? I was just rolling, thinking this is what I was buying it for. What did?
Well, you have a scroll of Sickening Radiance, so you can just use it and boom, it's done. Or you can try and transfer it to your spellbook, at which point you would have it forever.
Okay, and sorry. What did you say that I need to have, just so I can think about this roll for a second?
It's
Let's
an
ignore
arcana
whatever I
check.
just rolled. It's
So
arcana.
you have to roll Arcana, and you need to beat 14 because it is.
Oh, I
sorry,
see.
it's 4th level spell, right? So it's
Okay,
14.
cool. Well, then whatever I just rolled is fine, but I'm also more than happy to use my portent. I rolled an 11, and I have a +9, but my portent's also 15,
get-
and I'm happy to use that. So
Well, you have to declare that before, but in this case,
totally.
you're
So let's
good.
just whatever you'd prefer. What would you prefer? What I rolled, but I didn't know what I was doing when I rolled. To be fair,
I
was
love
like,
that you rolled it just as you decided. Well, you know what? Caution to the wind. Boom. I mean, you got a +9. The odds are pretty damn
I
good.
do have +9. Okay. So holy Hannah. Nim is embarrassed that she had to ask for money. She's never had, I think she actually has had to do that once before, and she hates it. So she's feeling embarrassed. She's feeling a little let down, but she's also feeling incredibly grateful that she has such incredible friends. So she's going to be a bit quieter because she's just like working on her self-esteem right now, but also really excited about her new spell.
Nice. Well, I will leave you to figure out what spells you're going to memorize for the following day. Probably that may be one of them. But also, the chair recognizes Christine, who may tell us what Glonda would like to buy.
I also want a lance.
The town guard is happy to give you its lance compared to the soldiers at the fort. Who gave Jojandron their lance, so they're kind of one-upping, saying, no, don't get the town, like the watch's lance. Those ones are terrible. What you want is a guard's lance. These keep whenever there's a festival and you got to keep people in line, this is the one you want. And here, we would be honored if you would take this with us to protect Counselor Solmore.
Is it the same damage and
Yeah, it's
cost and
exactly-
everything as the one in here? Cool.
It's exactly the same
Thank
Thank
stats.
you,
Bullshit.
good friend.
This is bullshit.
Hey, Jojandra, look what I have. Hey, Jojandra, look what I have.
Now, are bards proficient with lances? I'll just double check that. Weapon proficiency. Simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, short swords. You are technically not proficient with a lance. So if you want to use it, it would be a disadvantage.
Oh,
But
no.
hey.
Then would it be better for me to get a rapier?
Absolutely, because that is something you are proficient with.
Okay, then I'll do that instead. Thank you so much. I'm gonna give this lance to my friend Joe John.
No, actually, I want a rapier now too.
Sure, Joe John, shut up.
I want a rapier.
Okay.
Okay, fine. But I asked for it first. I want the best one because I'm proficient.
Andrew?
Yeah, Dan. They give you a rapier. It's really nice.
Is it
It's
the
got
same
the-
stats? as
Yeah,
they?
same stats. It's got the crest of the town guard on it. And
Ooh.
the guy who usually holds on to it's like, yeah, the lance. The guy who usually holds on to this, like uses that lance, whose name is coincidentally Lance. He's kind of a jerk. So, I'm really glad that you're using this rapier instead. Don't ask me what my name is.
What's your name?
Nobody, it's unfortunate.
What's your name?
Rapier.
That's a shitty name.
It's a pretty shitty name. They always assume it's sexual. It's terrible.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh no.
Okay,
I
am I getting my rapier?
Joe John, give me 1 second. I have to ask him a very specific question. What's my attack bonus for this?
So that is a finesse weapon. So it uses your dex bonus, which in this case, as we all know, is +2. And your proficiency is 3, so it's a total of +5. Much like your longsword.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Dan.
Just so you heads up, my spells aren't adding up properly. I had like too many spells prepared, but it was showing as if I had not enough.
Okay.
Just so you know, because I don't know how to fix that. So it looks like I've only got 10 spells prepared, but in actual fact, I've got 13.
And that's how much you're allowed to prepare?
Correct.
All right. Well, then you keep track of that. I am not going to be the spell police tonight.
13, yeah. Okay.
All right. So I believe we are ready, unless anybody wants to buy or prepare themselves in any other way.
I can't change up my spell save. That's like a between levels thing. That's not a just random thing.
Yeah, you can't change them. The benefit of being a bard is that all of those spells you have, you can cast them at any time. Like you don't choose which spells you want, but you just have a limited number that you can cast.
Okay.
And a smaller selection compared to other classes.
Yeah, all good. I just noticed similar to Nim, I mostly have fire stuff.
Yeah. Less useful underwater, but maybe we'll come to that.
Yeah, who knows?
All right. So you pass an eventful evening of celebration as everybody is excited at the prospect of you going out to talk to the Sahuagin and find out what their true intentions are. And it's almost a pub crawl as the very people of Saltmarsh take you and Anders from place to place and buy you all drinks. And suffice it to say, by the end of it, you're probably more than a little bit done in. The word comes back later on in the evening, and there's almost a hushed ambiance to it, that the Coalinth messenger has returned from the Sahuagin, and indeed, permission has been granted for you to send your diplomatic mission. It will be received without harm, and you can. They're delighted that you should come to make their acquaintance. Essentially, is the thrust of the message. It is a little bit more guttural than that, but that is, you are assured the intention of the response. So Anders is elevated. He is more than pleased that this is the response, and he says to you as you look on, he says, "See, they're reasonable. We're gonna sort this out. You'll see. Sure, there's an innocent explanation as to what all this army building business is about. And unless you want to speak to that, we'll fade to black and go into the next morning."
I almost wanted to detect his thoughts, to be like, is he under the influence? Is someone manipulating him to think this? But they find out it when you're finished detecting their thoughts, so this isn't the time to do it. And that's also Brooke that wants to do it. Nim would never. So, gotta respect.
Horrific invasion of privacy there, yeah.
Should we murder Anders?
Possibly. We shouldn't put it off the table.
Gord?
Sorry, he's too busy. He's got to stroke his mustache a little bit longer.
I
must be
I
so
was trying to
fuzzy.
figure out my headphone settings, but no, I don't think we should murder Anders.
Not yet.
I
think
second that we should not murder Anders.
Yet.
Although, it might be a good way for Glond and I to test our rapiers.
Rapier himself.
And the lance I gave you. Remember, I'm very generous today.
So actually, I accidentally left that lance on the entryway table as we were leaving. I just forgot to put it in my pocket.
In your pocket.
So sorry about
It's a
that.
9-foot-long lance.
It just slipped my mind. It's because it's new, it's not part of my routine. So I'm sorry, Glond.
I don't know if I can look at you for the rest of the day, honestly.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I really put myself out there sometimes. And try and do something for this group and make us feel like a family. And
Sorry,
just don't
Glond. I
feel
can't
too-
tell if you're crying or if it's just your voice that you lost.
It's not the only thing I lost.
Oh, jeez.
And I
Daily
walk out.
Dice. Daily Dice reminds us that we got a whole bunch of like bricks of platinum recently. I don't remember the specifics about it, but I remember I definitely threw some cash around. We offered Yeah, we gave a huge chunk of platinum to somebody in exchange for something.
You
I
traded
don't have
it
it
for
in my bag anymore.
You
Right.
traded some of it for the powder, the black powder that the other gnomes had. Yeah.
Yes.
And you
a whole
used the
barrel, I think.
powder to get stuff from Xandros, the tiefling quartermaster.
Right. Yeah, we got cool pieces of armor and yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So you do still have some. I don't know whether it's still in your inventory.
But sorry, why would we need that now?
It came up in the chat and I also remembered when he said it that we had but it was kind of like unspendable platinum, like not the convenience store would not accept a brick of platinum.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, actually, this is timely. So you're at what bar are you at? You're probably at you're the Dancing Dryad. That's where you've ended up. Which, if you will recall, as you obviously recall, the Dancing Dryad is part game hall, part tavern, part inn, and part brothel. One of the most notorious buildings in Saltmarsh. Norman had a real good time there in the past. And it's also the same place that the urchins cast looks at the gnomes, and you thought that maybe they needed to get out of town. So, is that your window too, Dan?
You're hearing that? It sounds like rocks hitting the window, so it must be freezing rain.
It's probably gross out there, and I'm glad I'm in here. So, yeah, the night has ended up taking you there. You haven't bought a single drink. It's all the townsfolk have been, excited to send you along. And a man slides into your table, finely dressed, and you would recognize him as the owner of the Dancing Dryad, a guy named Oslor Pendacraw. And so he slides in and says, "Oh, I trust you're having a good evening, gentlemen and ladies."
Nim doesn't say anything.
Says Terragar.
Says Terragar. Excellent.
I tip my gigantic hat, and I play along. I goody a big formal flourished good evening.
And he responds in big flourish as well. And goes on to say, "So, a little bird told me that it may be that you have some quantity of goods on your hands that maybe you would like to get off of your hands. Something that may not be easily movable. And I just wanted to let you know."
What on earth would make you say that? He says, hands on lapels, gigantic hat, frilly shirt underneath. We're simple travelers who are here just on some unrelated business. What makes you think we have nice things? He says, winking.
Gold piece falls out of his lapel and onto the table. He says, I don't want to speculate on the wealth of my patrons. I only am glad that they choose to spend their wealth here. But, as you may or may not know, I am connected across the city in a variety of ways, and I can make arrangements that can benefit one and all. And I merely mentioned that should you have things that you find yourself in a bind to, move along, I could, for a small fee, arrange an introduction that might allow you to, transform those things into ready cash.
Are we talking about smelting? You got a smelter back there? Is this what's going on?
Whoever smelter delter.
I know I don't necessarily have a smelter, but I may know somebody who does, or has an interest in the same.
Who is carrying the platinum, though? Because I don't think it's me anymore.
I've got 10 platinum pieces on me.
Pieces or the bars, though?
Well, I don't know. Okay, that's
Given
actually a
that
really
they
good
weigh about
question.
25 pounds each, the only place that they're conveniently held is in that bag of holding.
Oh, so
Where?
none of us.
I don't have it written there anymore. I thought that we had.
Yeah, I've got 10 platinum pieces, but I don't know where those bars went either.
Oh, I have a bunch of pieces. I don't remember what happened, but I have a bunch of pieces.
I don't have them listed, and I really want to. Oh, never mind. I do. Platinum
Oh.
bars, though. It doesn't say anything about the number, but it's written as a note.
There were
and it
like
just
a
says
billion
platinum
of them.
bars.
Our note just says tons of platinum.
Yeah.
Tons. Okay, so it does exist there as June 16th, 2022 is actually when I made that note about the platinum bars. So we've
Wow.
held on to these for a long time.
It's been a while. Well, I will tell you
Did
that
I already
at the,
cash mine? Because I have them in pieces.
no, those are
No.
pre-existing.
I had those from before, eh?
yeah.
Those are the gems I might have exchanged. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I have.
Or it may have been that you found
Don't
platinum pieces in
tell
treasure.
anybody I have money. Oh, you're
So-
right. There was one time where I found treasure alone.
Yeah. So at the time, what you had found were 20 bars that weigh 25 pounds each.
Okay.
Um,
You're taking way better notes than we did.
yeah, so I think at the time we figured out that each one of them could probably create around 200 platinum pieces. So it's worth.
Holy
fair
gosh
amount.
darn.
But you don't have your smelting machine on you. So I think you have gotten rid of at least 2 of them, one for each of the barrels. So you probably have 18 in the bag of holding.
Thank you so much, Mr. Accountant.
It has been a while, so that's totally fine.
I have updated my bag of holding.
Okay. So
I mean, I don't think any of this is urgent. Like I don't know how. Is there any benefit to converting it now, or might we not find like a 4x currency exchange later on in this
Yeah,
adventure?
can we just come back here if we need it?
I say, why don't we find out his conversion rate? I mean, we could even lie and say we've got 6 bars, and do that, and then maintain the other ones for potentially.
I
a better
will
deal
not
later.
lie.
Then don't have him do it. Zone of truth.
you can't do that anymore.
Ouch! Sorry, pal.
But I can tell people I'm
You
doing
can tell
the truth,
people.
even though I'm not.
But you can't. That's lying.
But that's a lie.
No, that's different.
It's for a good cause.
All right. I thank you, kind sir. It's good to know that you have means to turn things into things. We're gonna pass for now, though. But
What?
I will
We're not
keep
even
this
gonna
knowledge
do
tucked
5
away.
of them.
FYI,
Are we-
Fun.
in this world, sir actually means something. So don't just call a random guy sir. You have to be a knight to be called sir. It's a title.
Sorry.
that people
I have
earn.
never seen.
Thank you. It just
I have
means
never
so.
seen you that angry. That
Well,
really
he's
got
of
your
the
goat.
he's of the gentry, so he probably is a little bit, it's where he lives.
I apologize, Joe John. I didn't mean to throw sir around. My fine fellow. Let's make some coin.
Oh, excellent. Well, at the risk of being delicate, what could I arrange for you? What do you have that you need to find a new home for?
Hypothetically
He didn't-
speaking,
He didn't outwardly say he can take platinum and turn him into like a bar and turn it into
No.
a coin, right? We're just filling
No.
in the blank, and we're gonna give him a
Also,
bar
can
of
we ask him
platinum, and
where
then
and
he's just
how
gotta,
he heard this? I don't know.
Yeah, let's ask him that question.
Before
the hell
we
did-
hand him something, I don't trust it.
He says, well, as you might imagine, there are a number of eyes and ears in the town that see and hear things, and it may be that some transaction that you made has been overseen. And, I don't want...
Hate that small town. I do.
I know.
somebody tried to spend the platinum we gave for those barrels.
Mhm.
Somebody
Well, that
tried
would
to
be the
spend it,
gnomes,
they're
and they
like, where
left-
the heck did you get this?
They left town immediately, so probably
Is
not
it
them.
because
Okay.
we paid with platinum pieces to get the spell, and they shared that after? 'Cause that'd be mad.
No.
Well, no.
He says, I'm afraid I can't say exactly who I mentioned for both hypothetical and absolute reasons. So.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Gang, let's just go underwater.
I have a question for you.
But of course,
my voice is still.
Oh yeah, you've permanently
I've got
sexy.
the raspy.
Yeah.
Okay. You wouldn't happen to know anything about people that paid our abode a visit? Was that a couple nights ago?
Oh yeah.
And just so you know, I'm putting you under a zone of truth.
Oh.
So you have to answer accurately and truly.
Oh, I see. And he gets a fresh sheen of sweat on him, and he says, I don't know precisely who would have dared to invade your abode. And anybody who wants to see if he's lying can roll an insight roll.
I'll do an insight roll.
Me
You
too.
might.
Oops. All right. So my insight is, what is it?
Oh no.
8. Yeah. Okay.
I only got a 10.
10 for Nim, okay. That's a natural run for Glonda. Very
That
good.
is a unnatural 20 for me.
Ooh, okay. Well, we'll just go with extremes there. So to Glonda, he looks completely the most trustworthy guy you have seen. Maybe the quality of the drink is influencing results, and the fact that they're on the house, and the fact that Tergar is putting the gears to this guy is maybe a little bit uncomfortable. I mean, come on, he's your host. But to Tergar, you think maybe he is holding something back. Maybe he knows more than he's saying.
Let's skewer him.
And we're in the bar right now, right?
You are.
Yeah.
You are. At a fine corner table.
Right. I don't really appreciate liars. We have ways of dealing with people who don't tell us the truth and try to take things that aren't theirs.
And he visibly pales and says, I'm so sorry that you think I am somehow involved in this, good sir, but my good man. But I can assure you I have no knowledge of what happened to your house. In fact, I think I see a table that needs my immediate attention. So I will just leave you to your drinks, and I hope you have a good night. And he scatters away unless you try and stop him.
Yeah, I'm going to stand in his way. I'm going to sit down.
Okay.
Who do you work for? And I brandish my staff.
Where?
Where's the girl? You brandish your staff. Okay. So he says, I don't know what you're talking. He flusters and says, honestly, sir, I don't know what you... Please roll an intimidation roll for me there, Dan.
Oh, I'm not intimidating, which is so weird. I should be, but I'm not.
You're
what is
sweet
it?
like
Remember,
Druid.
he's under that zone of truth.
I know.
I'm gonna
I'm
do
not.
intimidation as well, right behind him. Like,
Oh,
You can
nice.
do why don't you do
Wait,
your support
can-
bard thing?
That's a 0. An unnatural 0.
Can Glonda and I do like a back-to-back rapier intimidation thing?
yeah.
It could be a group effort. We could be picking up what he's putting down.
13.
Okay, well, let's start with Dan's marvelous failure.
An unnatural 0.
I got an unnatural 20.
Okay. So you get up and pull out your staff, but it somehow gets stuck between your legs, and you find a banana under the table, and suddenly you're measuring your length on the floor.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's good.
but the two of you stop him from fleeing, the rapier wielding duo, and he says, "Honestly, it wasn't me. But if I was to say anything, it might be those awful sawfish boys."
The saltfish boys?
Sawfish.
Sawfish boys. Have we met them before?
You don't think so?
Okay. Sawfish
But
Sausage.
But you've been here long enough that you would have heard tell of these guys. They are unquestionably the owners of, or the operators of the slaughterhouse. And they are, they're those guys. They're the bad Dukes of Hazzard. Let's put it that way. They're the ones that, if there's trouble, they're the ones that are brought in as the usual suspects.
They're Boss Hog.
No, they're the bad Dukes of Hazzard. In this version,
the anti-Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, Boss Hog is good in this universe.
So they're the Earls of Safety.
Yes.
Earls of Safety.
The Barons of Peril. Yeah, I'm not sure how to play on that. But yeah, that's who you think they are. And he says, but you didn't hear it from me, and it can't get back to me at all. Now, please, let me go.
Me at all.
We should let him go.
And as you let him leave your table, he turns around, and like nothing has happened, he says, my offer still stands, if you have goods you need to trade. And he sweeps away.
What was his name? Did we get that?
Me at all. Oh, that was the guy.
Sausage Boys.
Osler Pentacraw is this guy's name.
Sausage Boys.
That's what I heard too.
I heard sawfish.
That's the accurate version of their name.
Osler Pentacross.
Is that
Yeah.
it? Name of the
Okay.
owner of
Dancing Dryad.
They're written down as Sausage Boys in our notes. Sorry for
Officially,
the
they are
future.
now. Canon is now that they are the Sausage Boys. That's fair.
We have it written down on this side. I just know us well enough to know that we won't stick to sawfish.
No, it's so true. When it could be sausage, why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it be?
All right.
Plus, when we kick down the door and we go, "Are you the Sausage Boys?" Like what? No.
like what are you talking about?
All right, we fade to black on the evening, and you awake a little bit hungover, unless you make a Constitution saving throw for me. I think we should definitely do that to see what that turns out to look like.
Oh boy.
Always like to make us.
Boom.
I think that's.
I'll
what my
never be
plus
hungover. I drink.
A natural
Might
one
not
for Dan.
Oh, what? Did I roll
Natural
a one?
one. You rolled a one.
Again?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
rolled a 9.
A niner. All right.
Wait a minute. I don't even see mine though, Andrew. I never saw mine.
See it. I see it right
there-
here.
Portents.
Yeah,
Oh,
Holy
nice
cow,
portents.
Brooke. Those are amazing portents.
Yeah, those are great.
All right, well,
Why-
Christine is going to operate at advantage for the next little while. Dan is going to operate at disadvantage for the next little while.
That's fun.
Why am I not seeing my rolls? Oh, there I go.
No,
Are you
it's
sure
not
that wasn't
that
an
eight.
old roll?
No, I
Is that-
see a 2 is, I think, the one you rolled for your
Yeah.
intimidation, and then I got a 1, and then you just rolled an 8, so.
Because I only see the 2 and the 8. I didn't see any other roll. So I mean, I believe you, but it's weird because I did press it, but I didn't see anything.
If you're
All right.
insinuating that there's something wrong with my completely ad hoc and homebrew die rolling system,
Andrew, I would never, ever, ever.
if you would imply
ever
that
imply
it is somehow
anything.
favoring me and not you, then
Andrew,
I think we should have words.
I'm not
'cause
implying. I'm stating a fact.
stating it obviously. All right. It's a rough morning for Tirgar. Maybe he drank something not to his liking.
I slipped and hit my head.
That's
fell.
probably it too. Yeah, you're suffering from a concussion.
Ah,
So you head over to a fine ship that will a coastal cutter that will take you up to the Sahaugen lair, and a fine mist hangs over the bay, Javan Bay, which is unnaturally quiet. I mean, it is winter. The currents, they are different in the seasons, and for whatever reason, they are different today. Low cloud hangs over, and there's a bite in the air. And
It's Grazit.
Sorry?
It's Grazit.
No, that's true. You've had weird weather, but not that weird.
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
Grazit.
Not Grazit. Yeah. Well, who knows? He's always been
It could
around,
be
right?
Grazit.
Could be. Who knows? So loaded for bear with all of your weapons clinking and clinking at your side, and the boat pulls up to the Sagan layer, as you see on North Star there. It's giant, thrusting column piercing the sky. And indeed, you see 4 Sahaugan warriors are at the maw at the top, and they watch you as you arrive. You've all either taken the spell of water breathing, or could drink the potions of water breathing and resistance that were provided for you if Nim didn't want to spend one of her spell slots to do that.
Yeah, let's do the potions. It's
Okay.
better to keep me fully occupied. And
So
I
they
can
will-
also not have to have my... Well, I'll keep mine memorized, I guess, just to be safe.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hold my breath. I don't need it.
No. No.
No? Okay.
So there's a chill in the air, but with these potions, you feel comfortably, not numb, but you feel comfortably warm. Yeah, the wind the wind of the cold don't seem to affect you as much. And indeed, if you're splashed with the water, it doesn't feel as cold. So the boat pulls up, and Anders looks, as you approach this ominous-looking tower structure, he looks to you and says, this was a much better idea when I was sitting at the council table. I'm not going to lie, I'm having second thoughts about this. Do you think this is...
You weren't fully confident in the decision to go towards an extremely violent society? She says with, wincing a little bit, because she's still, a little hard.
Well, it was a good idea, I think, but maybe it should have been somebody a bit more experienced. I don't know. I think I might have gotten a little carried away.
No.
And Tergar pukes over the edge of the boat.
As he's continuing to say, but I am very confident and that you've all got my back, and looks at Tergar as he pukes. Yes, confident. Very confident indeed.
Should we have a cliffhanger moment for our break?
I think that is an excellent idea. Why don't we go for a break? as Tergar pukes again over this side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and we're back from our action-packed intermission. All right, so the boat's pulled up. There's a bunch of watchful Sahaugen looking down at you with impenetrable looks on their faces. What would you like to do? Now that both Brooke and Jordan have walked away from the seats.
Jordan he can hear us.
Yeah,
he says.
He's on. He's got the headphones on. It's cool. So it's up to Norman and Turgar and Glonda to decide what the entire party is going to do.
Oh boy, it's time to shine. I just want to hold my breath, go under. I bet I can stay under the water as long as you can. Has that spell happened yet?
It is. You drank the potion, so yeah, it feels a little weird. Yeah.
Okay.
So sorry, we're still on the surface?
You're in a boat, which is docked such
by this
that
tower thing.
Yeah, by the tower thing, and there's a little sort of windy path that would lead up around
the spire.
The spire there, yeah, and then it gets to a bridge that would let you cross onto the main tower of it.
All right. Well, let's.
Can they see us?
They can see that you have pulled up. Yes.
Is there a crew on this boat? Or is it
There are about 8 people that comprise the crew of the cutter which has brought you down. Anders is here, and I should also mention that his able-bodied manservant Anders Scarin Wave Chaser, a rather lanky older man, is there in attendance as well. Basically, he carries Anders' coat and his briefcase and stuff, and is generally attentive to his well-being.
Okay, I go up to that guy and I take my hat off. I place it upon his head and I say, "Hey, take care of this, little buddy."
He is easily 6.5 feet tall, so he towers over you.
Yeah,
but
and
being you'd still do it, yeah.
I still like. I do like the coat rack like hat flip, and it just like plops on his head.
Nice.
You take care of that hat, little buddy. I'll be right back for it.
And he does a moment of and he loosens the belt so it fits on his larger head.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Anders looks to you and he looks to the tower and says, "Well, I guess we I guess that's where we go. Do you think they're expecting us?"
All right, well let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Okay. What is your marching order, if you will? Like, who is going where in this motley crew of yours? Because
That's a great question.
The path up the first tower is one abreast, so you have to go in single file.
I think definitely Nimmerlian first, because she's our tank.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think either myself or Joe. You're tough too, yeah. Well, I mean, Blonda, what's you're got a good armor class?
Nobody thinks I'm tough.
Well, it's your voice.
My armor class is 13.
Yeah, you're not very tough.
Wow.
Oh,
Zing.
My hit points are 76.
oh, that's good.
Small but mighty.
Yeah, that's better than me.
Anyways, I'll hang out in the back.
Is your
I'll be
AC really
safe.
13? I did think it was stronger than that.
I'm just a little guy.
Just wearing that leather armor.
I debated buying the leather studded, but I wasn't sure if that would weigh me down in the water, so I didn't want to buy it.
Yeah, I would
They
never
probably
allow
would.
my character
No.
in Divinity or in Baldur's Gate 3 to be this high level and only have an AC of 13. Like, what an awful AC at this level. Like, just terrible.
Is yours
13?
13 as well?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah,
That's
easy to
D&D
hit.
for you. All right,
Then we
so
go against
what-
guys with 20
what-
AC.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can tank, but I have to transform. So I'd say either,
Just let me go first.
yeah, that's you and J-Joe can't speak up because he's helping
not
that man.
here.
He's helping that man in the snow downstairs.
Nice. Okay, so Norman and then Jojanjo are on. Who's after Jojo?
We'll put
Then, yeah, Glonda, Nim, Tergar takes up the rear.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Wanda, Nim, and then Tergar. Where do you want to put Anders in all of this? Anders and Skarin, his manservant.
Put them.
You can
Put
be
them
on
in
my
front of me.
shoulders.
You most certainly will not ride on your shoulders.
Just
And I
put
know
them
you're
in
not supposed to say no in improv, but no.
Put them in front of me.
That's fine.
Okay. So Anders and then Skarin. All right. So Norman, Jojandron, Glonda, Nim, Anders, Skarin, and Tergar. And maybe this won't come up at all. Maybe this is just
I don't know.
for show.
I don't know.
So yeah, you wander up to this this footbridge, and it is a rickety structure, a rope bridge, which connects the one shorter tower to the midpoint of the larger tower. And it bobbles back and forth in the wind. It looks like it's been here quite some time. There is a fine bit of algae and ice that has built up on it. It sways back and forth in the wind. You hear an audible gulp from Anders as he looks at this rickety construction. The Sahaugen look at you and pat their... they're probably carrying tridents and spears at their ceremonial side.
I have the language, the tongues thing.
The tongues thing?
Yeah, which grants the creature that I touch the ability to understand any spoken language they hear, and when they speak, any creature that knows at least one language can hear the target and understand what it says. I think Nim wants to cast that on our diplomat boy.
On Anders, okay.
Well, because, I don't know, Nim's not a diplomat.
Fair enough.
And if Anders is the one that's leading this meeting and we're simply bodyguards...
Excellent.
Does that make sense to pass it on Anders' team? It's a level 3 spell.
And so it can be a group cast, or you pick a person.
I pick a person.
And you pick Anders.
Well, he's the one that's planning on doing the talking, right?
Yeah.
But then it'll just be Andrew talking back and forth, so maybe his plan is for it not to be Anders. But
No, I'm totally happy to do that if you want.
I think Jojon fancies himself a diplomat.
He does like to diplomat. Yeah.
It's true.
I could put tongues on Jojon.
If only we could all put tongues on Jojon.
Whoa!
And if you
didn't
cast,
even want the lance.
if you cast that spell, being as it's a divination spell, being as you have expert divination, you get one expended spell slot back. But I don't think you have cast any. So.
Well, then, right before I do that,
Smarty pants.
I will do comprehend languages on myself.
Okay.
So that I can, which is also divinity.
I was about to say, so you get half of that spell slot back. Okay.
So that way I can understand, and I can be the let everybody know what's being said.
Okay. So casting on Anders or casting it on Jojo?
I don't know, team. Do you want to? I mean, if Anders is okay with it being Jojon, I don't want to. I mean, what is Anders expecting? Did he expect to just understand these guys?
He said he didn't say anything about it, actually. He's basically suggesting
how
that...
do you expect to speak to these people?
Well, they've got to get along in the world as well. I mean, I hope that they would speak common. Maybe someone along here of their number would speak common.
And if not?
I'm sorry?
And if not?
If not, then maybe charades,
Oh, Anders, I did think that you were smarter than this, and better prepared, and more organized, and...
It was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I'm sorry.
Is Jenkins the reason why you seem so well put together? Because he's just such a lovely man. Well, I do have the spell to allow someone here to speak properly with them, but I would elect our own diplomat, Jojondaron, for that role, because he's such an exceptional wordsmith.
Thanks. That's really nice. Yeah.
Says, well, how about I have an idea. We'll assume that maybe they've got somebody that can speak to us. But if not, maybe it is useful to have another person who could hear what they have to say, what they're actually saying.
And not tell them.
And not tell them, exactly.
Well, I have already cast Comprehend Languages on myself, which means I will be able to understand what they're saying if they do not speak in common tongue.
Okay. Excellent. Oh, that's great that you can do that.
Well, I'm a wizard, darling.
Well, not just any wizard. You're the hero of Saltmarsh, one of the heroes. You're quite something.
So just to recap, Anders is going to try speaking common to one of their speakers who can speak common.
Yes.
If he can't, I will speak Sauhegan to the Sauhegan.
You got it.
All through the entire process, Nimmeralian will be secretly listening to the Sauhegan talk to each other.
You've got
Hundo
it
P
down.
nailed it, A+.
And Nima will not let them know that she's actually actively listening.
Okay, so I won't let you guys know what I'm understanding. Actually, fun fact and fun cool thing, if we want, while we're at it, I could do raise telepathic bond, and I could tell you guys what it is I'm learning by in the brain. It is my one
amazing.
level 5 spell slot, but I do.
Oh my god, we're
amazing.
getting BCC'd on the conversation.
All right.
Well, it's partly divination too, isn't it? So you're going to get that back.
divination,
Yeah.
so that gives me back my my level 3 spell slot for my tongues.
Brilliant.
So, done.
Net 0. If you cast them in the right order, I don't think you run out of anything. Well, except for that level 5 slot, which is the
Yeah,
big
I'm trying
deal.
to. I don't know if it was level 5. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's the telepathic bond. Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was my level 5, but I won't get that back. But that's okay. The only other level 5 I have is scrying, which I'm not going to be doing. So NBD.
Damn straight. All right.
Well, there we go. I now have I have a telepathic link with up to 8 people, but I don't trust Anders, so I'm not telling him that we have it, and it'll be the 5 of us.
Okay, so he's not in the party channel?
No.
Okay. So
He's
you...
Friendship bracelets in D&D.
That's the equivalent.
So we can all we can communicate to each other through the bond.
Oh, it's 2 ways?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The targets can communicate telepathically through the bond.
Okay.
Awesome. And
But
it lasts
it's
for
not
an
like
hour.
you can just hear my thoughts. Like, you can't just
No,
hear
you have to
random thoughts.
communicate. You have to communicate.
I had
yeah,
the
it's
exact
it's
same
an open
question.
line. It's an
I
open
consent.
line.
I consent.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So at the front of the line is Norman, who is looking out at this rickety rope bridge. You're just going to barrel across? All right. Make for me a dexterity ability check, which means roll a d20 and add your dexterity bonus to it. In fact,
Okay.
anybody who's choosing to cross.
Ability?
Dexterity ability check.
Okay.
That is what I intoned with my lip.
21. 21.
You swing across there, no problem. And if anybody else is, that's a 12-sider there, Brooke. So you're
Oh, thank
definitely
you.
not
I
going
was
to
like,
pass it down.
oh
It's an
no.
18 for me, Andrew.
Also,
18.
no problem.
Oh.
A 9.
And 9.
3 plus dexterity. Mm-hmm. Is it a dexterity saving or no? It's a check.
No, it's just an ability check. So you don't add your proficiency, just your bonus.
Plus 2, so a 5.
5.
I think I fall to
Okay.
death.
And what did Glonda get?
9.
Got a
Yeah.
9. And I think that's the same for Joe Jongeron, hey? Yeah, no bonus. Okay.
Right. That's right.
So...
Sounds like winners to me.
Yeah. So you slip. You don't
No.
fall off, but you are like one of your legs or feet is dangling off the edge of the rope bridge perilously.
All of us or just me?
The ones who failed. So that would be Galanda, Nimralian, and Jojonderon.
Yeah.
Everybody else had absolutely no problem. Tripped across that.
Meanwhile, I'm first. I'm not looking behind me, and I'm deliberately broadcasting telepathically to the gang. Meow 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 meow.
Well, I won't draw it out. You didn't fumble horrendously, so you're able to, between the others who didn't just keep on barreling across, you're able to retrieve your number and just a little sweat. But you're able to get to the other side. When Norman arrives, he's regarded by these Sahuagin warriors with a grudging respect. And but they do sort of do a as they watch the others fall off a little bit and perilously get to the other side, maybe a little bit worse for wear.
Good day, my pals. Do any of you have the time?
They look at you non-comprehendingly, or not deciding if they understand you at all. They don't betray it. And from
Did you hear that, everybody? Did you hear that? Did you catch that? Everybody catch that?
from the maw of the opening into the larger tower behind.
Roger, we caught that. Roger, we caught that. We got that. We over and out.
Emerges another Sahaugen. This one has a different feel to the others, not carrying weapons. It's carrying wearing a kind of a robe, ceremonial in nature.
Like a bathrobe.
Like a bathrobe, terry cloth kind of bathrobe.
The dude.
Yeah.
Sahaugen version of the
Are
dude.
we underwater right now?
No,
Not
you
yet,
are
not yet.
you are easily 40 feet up from the
Right.
surface
We
of the
crossed
water.
a little bridge. Okay, it
That's
wasn't
right.
a water bridge. That would have
You
made
can, you
no
can see the
sense.
bridge, and it's in the picture.
Yeah.
Which one?
On North Star.
Ding it. Oh, that bridge. That's the bridge we just crossed?
That's the
I
bridge.
would have misty stepped the heck out of that.
So I did not hide this from you. Described the heck out of that bridge, I might add.
Yeah, and it was an
I
actual
know,
picture worth 1,000 words.
That's true.
Hands down. No,
Okay.
I accept.
So this other Sahaugen emerges from the darkness of the maw behind and comes out and says in a heavily accented common to Norman, "Welcome. Welcome." What's the slightly denigrating term they're going to have for you?
Mud shits.
Yes, mudshits. No, Mudlander. I like it. Mudlander.
Wow.
We are-
well,
we are-
thank you for welcoming us, Stinkface.
Stinkface.
I'm
Wait,
telepathically,
wait,
I'm
I'm the diplomat, right? I'm the
telepathically
diplomat?
saying,
No!
Hell yeah, way to
I'm
go.
surprised that I understand.
We are pleased to receive your delegation. Pleased to come with us.
Sweet. Happy to do it. Lead the way, Broseph.
All right. And so you were brought inside. And I'm just going
Can you
to
have some idle chit chat with him, Norman, as you go in?
I think you should do.
Can you have some idle chit chat with him as you go in?
Oh, yeah. Do you have the time?
Time is...
Yeah.
Well, it
You
is
have
the
it?
sun. The sun has risen. It is the day. Soon it shall be the night.
Well, agree to disagree.
What time is it for you? What is the time for you?
Well, I wasn't sure. That's why I was asking you what time it is. I have somewhere I need to be later.
Oh, I see. This is not important to you, this delegation.
Oh, it's very important. But I just have somewhere I need to be later. I'm sure you understand.
Yes, absolutely understand these words that you use, Mudlander.
Excellent. Then we're on the same page, Stinkface. So I'm so happy we can just chat like this. This is overdue. This feels good.
We haven't got together like this for ages, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see the map there. I'm just going to sort of take you through a few areas. You are in this... In fact, I don't know what it looks like on your end, on the public end of North Star.
This is a pretty map.
No hidden areas or nothing.
I like
so
this
maybe,
map, Andrew.
Oh, thank you.
Nice
I
colors.
Ooh,
Didn't do this one,
yes,
but-
very pretty.
Isn't it
Yeah.
good, though, eh?
Mhm.
So, are you seeing anything blacked out, or is it messed up for you guys?
Nope, we see
no.
it blacked out. We see the first internal area there,
Area?
but then nothing beyond it.
Okay, cool. Well, then I will just
So
start.
I actually see less than what the YouTube people are seeing. That helps you.
It does, yeah. Yes, this great system. I haven't looked at it in ages. So you are brought into that area. You see a couple other Sahaugen guards are milling around. And so the one who brings you in says, and he bows to you and says, "My name is Maquis. and I welcome you to our lair. Here
Telepathic link to crew. Telepathic link to crew. Jojondron.
He's
Fruit.
speaking. What is it?
right there.
Just want to make sure everyone got his name. It's Matt Keys.
Macrease.
Matt Crease. Did everyone get that? Sorry, this telepathic link is so
Roger.
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 I will put you on mute if needed.
I am to take you to meet the Baroness Seklaz and Baron Kempak. Baron Kepmak.
And
Your
the Earls of Safety. Just kidding, guys. I'll go back to being quiet.
Sorry, it's Baron Seklas?
Baroness Seklaz. I will just pop these wonderful names into the chat.
I do love them.
Yeah. And Baron Kepmak. His name is Macleese. Obsequious, because Brooke likes it when I use great words. Diplomat. There we go.
Wow, obsequious. Okay, I'll Google it.
Excellent. You should not be armed in the presence of the Baroness and Baron. So I will ask you to leave your weapons here. You have my guarantee that they will be safeguarded and returned to you, and that you shall not be harmed while you are here.
This is awkward, but Glonda and I just got new rapiers, and no, it's fine, Clem.
My body is a weapon, so what do you want me to do with that, McLeese?
He
Mine's
cocks his head a little bit.
wonderland.
Your body is a weapon. Do you cut your food with it?
I can. Listen, I'm just yanking your chain. I'm a nice guy. Let's get going.
He mutters in his language to the guards that surround him, and says, "The small one says his body is a weapon," and they chuckle they chuckle in the universal language of obsequiousness.
Right. I feel like Nim just Nim just is like, they think that is very powerful, and that they better leave you alone, you strong young man.
Roger that.
So do you disarm yourselves?
Well, they don't know that Nim's a wizard, so she's like, oh, and she takes out, like the 2 teeth of the Thousand Tooth and hands it to them or whatever.
These are your weapons.
She doesn't do that. She takes them out and she's like, I am but I am not a fighter. I'm an advisor.
She's our personal trainer.
Trainer. What does this mean?
It means that their ability to stay focused and persevere. I'm essentially, have you had a TED Talks? How they motivate you? I'm kind of the motivator.
Eyes grow big. You are a war master.
Oh, I wouldn't say that much, darling. I simply make sure that they get up early and go for their runs and eat a good amount of protein, about 150 grams per day.
You are a cook, then?
I think we should stop this conversation.
All right. So you hand over your weapons. Is that what I'm getting? Does anybody try and ferret away some weapons they don't hand over?
Well, I did put an air tag on my rapier just to be...
So they pile them up into a little pile. They look very nice all together, and they are put into a chest. And the chest is brought along with you. He says, they will not be far. You will know that they are near should you have any doubts. But we guarantee your safety. That is our way. So they bring you inside. The portcullis is raised. It is at the southern end of that room, and it opens up into another room. You can see a turnstile which is operated by 2 pretty hefty Sahaugen. They are turning it and thus making it rise. And the room itself is fairly featureless. All it has going for it are exits going into different hallways, of which you take the eastern one. And you're probably asking yourself, what does it look like in this this abode, in this place? And generally, the interior, it's mossy. It is wet, dank. The interior walls of this space, though, they're well cut. You're not sure exactly who. Well, actually, I think this is definitely time for a stone cutting roll, because it wouldn't be a D&D session without it.
Everybody, shut up! I have something to do. If I may.
There's a lot riding on this.
Is there ever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 17.
17. That's pretty good. And it's no 20, but it's still pretty good.
Okay, well.
So there doesn't appear to be any. The thing that gets you, first of all, is there are no permanent light sources. However, there is a phosphorescence that's emanating from the moss on the walls, an eerie green that illuminates dimly. However, most of you are not, I think with the exception of Jordan, you all have some level of dark vision, so you have no trouble seeing in the space. Oh no, Jordan's a half-elf too, I think. I don't think there's a human among you.
Nope.
So yeah, you've all got dark vision. You can see in here just fine. The corridors are 10 feet wide and 15 feet high, which you feel like it's pretty tall for some of you. For these creatures, it looks pretty, they get around just fine. The construction is a plain dressed stone. This is the answer to the stone cutting question. You don't think dwarves did this, but you get a sense that this was dug out intentionally, and it was done by creatures that knew their way around mining. But you don't see any telltale signs of dwarven craftsmanship.
I telepathically tell the gang that I'm unsettled, because it's good work, but it's not by my people.
Okay. So you were led eastward, and the hallway does a little bit of this, and then does a little bit of this. And then it goes to the south. And he wanders by. He doesn't really say much other than to lead your expedition along. So if you have any questions, he does entertain them, but otherwise he doesn't volunteer anything. Anders looks like he could throw up at any moment. As you pass a lot of armed, not particularly friendly looking folk, definitely outside of his comfort zone. And you proceed further down to the south there. And as you pass by this big open room, you can peer inside and see. And is there anything special about that room? It's a big room is what it is. It looks like it's an unfinished area. It seems intended for use as a barracks. There are many lidless coffers arranged around the walls of the room. And there are dozens of stoneworking tools inside this space. So you can see that the areas of this room are, some of them are unfinished.
Could we do a perception check just to see if we see anything suspicious, or a trap is being laid?
Sure. Why not? I think anybody who wants to make a perception roll can.
That would be a 15.
15. You note nothing other than, let's see if anybody knocks it out of the park. Getting a lot of medium to low rolls. Dice shaming. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I think Christine and Dan are probably the highest rollers. And the one thing that Christine...
I got 16. That's all I got.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. I got less than that.
What did Glonda get, Christine? So what was your total, Dan? What was Targar's total?
15.
15? And Glonda's?
Mine was 8.
8. Okay. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary with this mining construction other than it's clearly not finished yet. They're doing some more work on it.
And I'm talking about that room we just passed.
The room specifically?
Yeah.
You don't see anything, and you're not given a lot of time to dwell on it because
Sure.
there are people behind you sort of keeping the
Yep.
pace.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you don't notice much out of the ordinary. You are brought to this room to the south, where there is another collection of Sahaugen guards and such that also look to be particularly on sentry duty. Like they are definitely, they're there waiting for you. They look like they are definitely here on a purpose to look like they are in
Is
full...
that the thing you just dropped down there?
That's your guide.
That's the guide. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm doing it also to try and move the map along for the folks at home.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Which is almost working. Yeah, there you go. So at the north end of this room is another portcullis, and that little 8-sided contraption there is another turnstile, which would appear to operate it. There's a pair of Sahaugen which are standing at ease by it. You are not brought to that. Rather, you are continued down this sort of snake of a hallway. Is there anything that I need to tell you about this room? This chamber is accessed by 3 archways leading into it from the north, east, and west. A stone bench runs along the south wall. Set into the north wall, opposite the west archway, is a metal gate that closes off an opening to the north. A mechanism consisting of a wheel, chains, and various pulleys is attached to the east wall. Well, that's basically what I just described. And you can see through that portcullis, I'm sure you nosily do, into a large room, which is a long, narrow room stretching beyond the gate, 4 pillars equally spaced north to south. But beyond that, it descends into a gloom that you can't really perceive more into.
Well, I'm not seeing that. I guess I need to refresh.
It's just it's north of where we are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So the hallway kind of snakes as it goes around like so. I'll move this so that people can see. Come. And there appears to have been some kind of
My
a...
God, this is quite the elaborate tunnel structure.
Yeah. I'd like Joe Jondron to make a perception roll for me. What's your total there, Jordan? Hey, what is the total? It's been so long since we played.
What am I adding?
You're adding your perception score from your skill tree.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't see it. 9
9?
total. Yeah.
Something about this configuration, it makes you feel like it's intentional.
Okay, I'm gonna relay that to my friends.
But beyond that, you can't really put your finger on it.
I feel like we're being led into something.
Definitely being led somewhere.
Down the
Glanda's
winding path.
Glanda's stone cunning tells her that this area is definitely still under some level of construction or repair, perhaps.
I relay this.
Okay. And as you round this...
Could I do a history roll, like in terms of like...
You know, I'm noticing that even just visually, this is becoming less and less like it was before. I think it's time we talk to the where we're being led to find out some more information.
Please do.
Before that, could I do a history check on like...
You have to sell
like,
it.
Well, just like strategically why you would want, if you were building a fort or a castle, what would be the reason of these constant switchbacks and that type of thing? Like if there was
I'll
some
give it to you.
lore that...
Roll it. Sure.
Turgar, okay, good. That would be a 17.
17. It does feel like this is maybe some kind of military device to make it harder or make it easier to defend.
Yeah.
You'd have a lot of areas for cover, a lot of ways to retreat. Yeah, that's the only thing you could suggest that maybe from your readings in military history that might be what this is all about.
And
It's
we
like
could,
Arts Court.
Londa,
Yeah. Exactly.
Londa, when you did your stone thing, could you tell whether or not this was newly made or is this old?
Let me close my eyes and think hard.
This has been around for quite some time, but you also notice some fresh score marks, like the chisel and pickaxe work in some cases is recent.
I'm back. This place has been around for many, many years. But some of the little scratches, it's pretty new.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want me to ask my brain demon?
Um, uh,
Okay, that's okay. Maybe next time.
As you round the corner, you also hear the sound of work being done. You see the picks, the ringing sound of picks on stone. Further off to the west.
To the guy leading us here.
You bet.
Victor used deception.
Oh, okay. I love it.
And I'd like to say, I really have to pee, and I'm just wondering, was there a washroom behind us I can use, or are we almost at the room that we're leading us to? Right.
He looks at you a little bit disbelievingly and says, "You need to relieve yourself now before an important diplomatic meeting?"
I rolled a 19.
Yeah, you definitely sell it. He believes you.
Really, all this water,
He says, this is important to you, is it?
Yeah, I'm just wondering where we're going. Is there going to be a washroom there? And how much further do we have to walk?
And he says, this way, I take you to a place. And he takes you further south. And then he opens this door to a room. And he says, "In there, you use anywhere there." It is not an obvious. It is not an obvious room.
You actually, I can't believe you're actually bring him to pee. That's great.
Okay, so I'm in here now?
Yeah. It's a room which contains neat piles of hammers, chisels, mining picks, sledgehammers, crowbars, spades, wicker baskets, sacks, and coils of rope. There's also a pile of light blue tiles. Otherwise, the place is empty.
Soon to be a puddle of urine.
And a puddle of urine.
Okay, I'd just like to telepathically link while I'm in here to my friends that I don't trust these guys. I don't know where we're going.
Macleese says, "Does anybody else need to relieve themselves?"
Yeah, I'll take advantage. I didn't go.
I'll squat.
Anders says, "Me, please."
Can't believe you're all taking a piss.
So I get as close to Joe John as I possibly can to pee.
I am also currently peeing.
I'm just watching. Like, I'm just sitting at the doorway and making sure everybody's cool.
The guards
We are
and
facing
Macleese
you.
wait.
You're all facing me? You're not facing the wall?
We're all
You're facing Okay, never mind. I thought this was the girls' room, and I
I was in
didn't
the
walk
middle of the
away.
room, peeing towards the doorway.
While you're here, everybody make a perception roll for me, please.
Oh my god. Oh.
I have a feeling Brooke's about to knock this out of the park.
Yeah, I got a 25.
Okay. Anybody else get over a, I don't know, let's choose a number at random. 16?
I got a
No.
16.
Okay. So Nimralian and Gnorman, while in this room, Nimralian is probably avoiding looking at anything that might be overtly happening, and thus happens to glance the same oddity that Norman glances. In the southeast corner of the wall of the room, there are a series of crates which have been stacked up, but they're not stacked in a way which makes it obviously useful. and such, you can see that there is a little trace of an opening that leads into a space behind those crates.
Mm.
Okay.
As I turn to look at this, I accidentally pee on Joe John's shoes.
And then I react by turning around and peeing on, well, I guess Norman's head because
I wish I still had my hat.
It would have been so useful, Red Wit, now. Accidentally.
You guys and your pee.
Hey, peep that. There's a secret room alert. Secret room alert.
Hey, do you want me to make a distraction?
I think it's good to know there's a potential exit strategy, but I think we should still continue to play along.
Who's outside of the room right now?
Should we not? I'm outside the room. Should I?
Tell our guide that we need more time. We're having number twos, and it's
All right,
really,
I'll do that.
it's really stuck in there. We need privacy.
Hey, they're having some trouble in there. I think they had some bad fish on the way. I think. Do you have toilet paper?
Dan, roll a deception for me, which I know is going to be an amazing roll for you.
I don't think I'm very good at that either.
I don't think you are.
No, I'm not. Okay. Well, you never know. I could roll a 22 here and get a.
You could. It could be
Yes.
great.
I rolled a
Roll a natural
18.
20. No,
Natural
that's
20.
nice.
Oh, it's a natural 20, even though I have a -2.
Well, for skill checks, not really, but I mean, it's a 20. That's a kick-ass deal. We make a big deal of that here. So yeah. So whatever. You're not normally this guy, but it's coming through. So what do you want from this guy?
So how long you worked here? You worked here a long time?
I was spawned here. I was not spawned here. They took over this place. I was spawned 20 moons ago, 20 moon cycles ago.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in the glorious service of Baroness Seklas for all that time.
When you're young, are you a guppy? What do you call yourself when you're a kid?
Meanwhile,
What are you doing inside?
I'm checking out. I've nosed up to the space in the wall.
Okay.
And I'm investigating and trying to move some crates and see if I can get in there.
You edge it across and you see that there is indeed a room adjacent to this one.
And like hissing at him to not do it, but he does it because it's Norman.
It's a smallish room, and inside a leather cloak hangs on a peg on the wall to your right. Opposite that, propped against the east wall, stands a full suit of human-sized plate armor.
Ooh.
A heap of chainmail lies at the foot of the armor. Farther into the room, 3 shields are piled onto the floor. Finally, a coffer lies on the far end of the room, its lid closed.
I open the coffer.
Okay, so you're going inside?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay.
And I also have not zipped up.
Are there any weapons? There's just armor, eh?
That is what you see from there.
How big is the cloak? Is the cloak human-sized?
Okay, you pass the threshold of this. You manage to sort of, because you're so tiny, you move the crates and you squeak through. And there is an explosion. And I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Oh, Norman!
Dexterity is 15 plus 4, 19.
19, that sounds pretty good. That is enough to have this. You take
Oh, no.
10 points of damage.
Oh, no.
And you are blown backwards into the room.
What
The
the?
crates
Nim?
The crates are little pieces of wood. You land on the floor, the wet, mossy floor, in a bit of a heap, kind of smoking. Maclise and Tergar are having their conversation when this explosion happens, and he gets immediately alert and rushes into the room. What is happening here?
I told you we had some bad fish, and things got volatile.
That deserves a deception roll, and I think I'll let you roll that at advantage because, it's just such a funny excuse.
Okay. 15 for
Plus your deception?
deception.
Yeah.
17.
17. He looks at you askance and says, "This is what happens with your people?"
Hey, this is what happens to anyone if you party too hard at the Dancing Dryad.
And he says, "I know not what you mean, but I think we should continue before you explode again."
Deal. Then trust me, I hate this as much as you do.
I appreciate that you wish to do this before your meeting with the Baron and Baroness.
Now you understand. Now you get it.
All right. So the guards rushed into the room and are looking around. You don't think that they have a sense of this room. So it's not obvious to them what's happened here other than a kerfuffle. And your combined deception rolls seem to have smoothed this over. Or perhaps maybe this affair is as big a deal to them as it is to you, and they don't want to mess it up. So they just want to keep things moving along. So they continue further west towards the sounds of this continued work and bring you into this room in the middle. In the middle of which you see a large stone staircase leading in a downward direction, and I can describe this a bit better. To the west of a large archway stretches an area of plain stone construction. 3 pillars extend to the tiled ceiling. In the center of this chamber, a wide staircase leads down. An unfinished half-wall surrounds 3 sides of the staircase. Piles of colored tiles sit near the wall, awaiting placement. The sound of water lapping against stone can be heard coming up from the bottom of the stairs. And you see 10 people working by torchlight, and they smooth and dress the unfinished exterior walls of the hall. Each of these people is shackled at the ankles with a length of chain and wears a metal collar. And several Sahaugin are here overseeing these people as they work, while others rest and chat near the top of the stairs. And instantly, all the Sahaugin stop and look at you. In fact, all of these workers stop and look at you, which causes one of the Sahaugin to bark an order back over to them that says, "You lot, get back to work," which is what anybody who can comprehend language or has the tongue spell overhears. Nonplussed Maclise moves up to the staircase to start walking downstairs and looking back at you expectantly.
Like Nim hisses to our boy, our diplomat, and goes like, "Is this someone that you'd want to do business with?"
He says, I know not what to make of this. I don't like the look of this at all. I will tell you that the people are 4 orcs, 4 hobgoblins, and 2 lizard folk.
That are chained up?
They are.
Orcs and hobgoblins. They're not even in league with the Sahagin.
Generally, the orcs and hobgoblins are known as evil creatures. I mean, I don't generally run with alignment in D&D, but if you want to stereotype a race of creatures, orcs and hobgoblins, they're opportunistic. They will beat you up and take your stuff, is what they're.
But the Sahagin are not considered that?
The Sahagin, no, they're definitely in. From your experience, that has been their operation as well.
Pretty vicious, yeah.
They're vicious. But they have appeared to out-vicious these folks. Or maybe they're voluntarily being chained up and working. Odds are low. Now, you know about lizard folk, so they're probably the ones that stand out for you.
Yeah. Well, are we being led down these stairs?
You are being led down the stairs.
I feel like Nim, well, yeah, I don't know. Nim can't talk to them. Well, no, we're all talking common right now.
Yeah.
You are?
Nim might be like, what have these individuals done to receive such a fate?
Criminals. They tried to steal from us. We have graciously allowed them to live to repay a penance of their crime against us.
And she, tries to come off as like Not judgmental, just curiosity to not make it seem like she's judging them, but she's judging.
Okay. In your society, do you take criminals into labor as well?
Do we?
There's a conventionalized justice system, so there would be...
There's typically a form of court where the individuals are given a chance to, plead their innocence, and the juries are quite considerate. But no, we do often lock individuals away, especially if they seem like a danger to themselves or others.
These ones, a danger to us, sought to steal from us.
How
Cool.
long will they be working?
It is not for me to say. It's for the Baron and Baroness to decide.
And it's been about an hour. Are we eventually going to meet them?
It's probably only been about 10 minutes, so you've got plenty of time left on your
It's a
spell.
long time to be walking around in the building, though. 10 minutes is a lot. It's like when you're at the airport and you get
No.
off the plane, and they're like, if we can make you walk around for long
That's
enough,
true.
then our baggage will arrive at the same time.
All right, you descend down those stairs. And I really hope I set this one up right. And that you got tokens and everything. Let's see. I have to load it because it messed up for me. Hey, that's better. Okay. Now, did I give you guys tokens? Yes, I did, and
Tokens.
everything. Okay.
Tokens for
Boom.
what? Oh, your map, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And here you are, all down here.
And we're underwater.
No, you are knee deep in water.
This is, I guess, the level above where I was before.
Correct. You have not been here yet.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to bring this guy over to be your tour guide. Boom.
Oh, Pedro's here.
Pedro?
Or Petrie,
Petrie?
sorry.
Yeah. All right. And
I'm so sorry. I should have remembered. It looked like Pedro. I was looking at it. It was very small, the font.
That's quite all right.
Brilliant.
So he takes you north. You go up this hallway here, and from there, the path diverts into two. And he decides to take you up the right side. Again, at this point, it's a little bit more than knee deep. For Gnorman, it's probably about hip deep. So you're sloshing your way through this this area. And that is a hallway which goes thusly and thusly.
Yeah, the folks at home can't see this map.
Oh, you're
for some
right.
reason.
Yeah.
I'm trying to refresh.
Yeah. I don't know if that... What if I move this dude here? Does that help? Because there's a lot of... Yeah, it's
I'm
probably better.
refreshing. Maybe.
Try better refresh it, see what happens. And it's the stairs. Hey, no, it does work now.
Here we go.
See it. Good. Cool. Where do you go from here? He takes you further down to the east. Curious little curving hallway. Ba-boom, ba-boom. This continues. Just trying to speed along. And this goes here. So actually, why don't we just move you up to
I just
here-ish?
feel from a design perspective, there's a lot of wasted space that they could have maximized to do other things.
Probably coulda.
Really not very economical in their mining.
As you pass down by this room to the south, which I'm just seeing whether I can show you. I think I probably can. Yeah, I can. So there's no doorway on this room to the south, so... and the water has gotten a bit deeper, to the point where it's up to Norman's shoulders and up to your hips. Probably up to Glonda's abdomen. The room to your south there, the ceiling and the floor of this room are unfinished stone. Light green tiles cover the walls. Seaweed grows freely throughout the chamber, and anemones and starfish crawl over the natural rocky surfaces. Several large sharks with armored plates driven into their flanks seem to be swimming freely here. You know this because of those sharky fins that are on their backs, and they are... they're... Well, this didn't open up for the folks at home. I don't know why. Just imagine a small 20 by 30 room to the south of what the party is at so far. Again, MacLeese pays it absolutely no mind. This is common day for him, but you see sharks there. And he continues going further west into what appears to be a large banquet hall, where a corridor leads to a great hall. Its floor tiled in black, the walls in coral pink, and the ceiling in white. Black tiled pillars are regularly placed in a line slightly of the east-to-west axis. To the north of the pillars, long tables have been placed end-to-end with benches to either side. At the midpoint of the north wall, an archway opens onto a passage. This ornate archway is decorated with elegant black and gold designs evocative of waves and monstrous sea creatures.
So this is all the lizards peoples that the Sahaugen are currently occupying.
It would seem.
Okay.
Possible that, they've been here for about a year now, if you do your math from when you first met the lizard people. So it may be that they put their own touches onto it. And he continues to take you to the north, which opens into a room with people in it. Let me just unhide them all.
Oh, finally.
Finally.
They're pretty looking.
They are. So, let me describe this room for you. At the end of a short stretch of corridor, another archway opens into a larger area. Here, the floor is tiled indigo, and the walls dark blue. On the north side, a massive, ornately carved throne rises from a pale blue dais. Pale blue marble pillars stand to the east and west. The dais is of the same pale blue marble, while the throne is black coral. The ceiling is tiled in pale blue. On the throne sits an oversized Sahaugen. This creature has 4 arms. In his right upper hand, he holds a large trident. His 2 lower hands grip the arms of his throne, and floating next to the throne on the creature's right-hand side is an adult female Sahaugen holding a long staff tipped with a jumble of shark's jaws and teeth. And there are a bunch of other Sahaugen in here. There are 2 very large, beefy-looking Sahaugen, which I have styled the Sahaugen champions. There are 2 sharks, and as well there is what appears to be a female Sahaugen who is richly adorned. Technically she's not here, but she is now. Do I have a description for her? She's a large and intimidating female Sahaugen warrior, and she's got also 4 arms. One of them... no, that's all I got for her. So yes, they look at you as you arrive, and MacLeese moves up.
Nimmerlian, don't stand right next to...
What is that thing?
Whatever that thing is. Come behind me.
It's our guide.
Yeah, don't stand next to it.
And I'm doing this through our little secret thing.
Come stand behind me.
There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
So MacLeese enters and bows low. Face enters into the water and says in their language, Baroness, I bring you the Mudlander delegation. And this is something that Jordan and Brooke understand with their various spells. And MacLeese turns to look at you both and says, my honored delegate, and he's pointing to Anders at this point, or addressing Anders, and says,
where's Anders on this map?
He's not. I didn't make him a little token. I should. Let me make one real quick.
You just needed a reason to finally push us to do this. You're like, listen, Anders is freaking going.
He's totally in there, yeah. Where is he? We'll give him a fun little token.
We should be wrapping up too, because it's almost 7.
Yeah, this is a cliffhanger moment.
It's
Whatever-
truly a cliffhanger.
Whatever
moment.
Suckleys and Kesmac are about to say, big cliffhanger.
Suck it. Yeah, so they bow, and he looks back and says, "Gulp." Actually, this may be a good place to leave it. We'll just pick it up from the cultural exchange that's about to happen. I'm sure this is all going to be great.
Did they look threatening? Did they look friendly? Do they look
Yeah, what's the final
skeptical?
shot?
Yeah.
I think this is going to be determined by a final roll. Roll your perception or insight. Insight's even better. We've got a lot of good rolls here. Yeah.
I only got
21
14.
for me.
21.
That would be a 19 for me.
7.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Anders is being played in this episode by Nicolas Cage. All right. Sorry, what was your total, Dan?
19.
19? Holy cow. All right. So for Jojanjaran and Glonda, who rolled not great, they look to be welcoming and curious. Perhaps, as interested in you as you maybe are of them. Maybe a bit tense at what... Oh, are we
That was my bad.
Okay. For who's next on the hit parade? Brooke, what was your insight for Neverland?
14.
14? Not much more than that. Like you don't see them as welcoming. You see them as maybe standoffish. For Norman and Tergar, who rolled really well, they look tense and cautious, and perhaps unsure of what's going to happen here. Maybe itchy for a fight. So with that,
for a fight. They're itching for a fight.
with that jumble of interpretations, we will leave this until next time. So if all y'all want to say a final how-do to, I think Matt tonight. I don't think anybody else is in the chat.
How do
How
man?
do?
Way to go, Matt. You did it.
Nicolas Cage.